that was where food was coming. So they wanted to cut off a supply of food. Then we fought back. And the sugar reason, I was posted to 14 days. There's no mystery in producing fuel from crude oil. It's one of the simplest technologies you can think of. The situation now is more tense than what it was before that war came. We have not learned our lessons. That's what I'm saying. The war has increased and multiplied several times. I'm even surprised that the war is going to start repeating itself again. I'm even surprised. Otherwise, the situation now is more tense than what it was before that war.
Lessons learned from the Civil War. Part 2 of 3 begins.
Which city did you defend?
In 15 days.
14 Div. You said 15 Div was Okigwe.
In 14 days, it was Obiti.
Obiti?
Obiti is tax force TAC.
Okay.
DTF tax force TAC. And it was you have a 6 div at the left towards Port Harcourt. You have 14 div at the right. That's moving towards that you have a Obiti. You have a let me.
Okay,
yes.
we'll come back to it.
I'll come back. Yes.
Yeah, because some of the
it's
things are some time.
Yes. But you have Obiti, and you now have where they have the plantation there. What do you know the plantation?
Okay. Is it an Afikpo side?
No.
Okay.
You see, you have Asa Awara, Ohuba. Yes.
Ohuba. Okay.
Asa Awara, Ohuba. That Asa Awara is towards Port Harcourt.
Okay.
Ohuba is away from Port Harcourt towards where is it that we have our oil there? Towards Oguta.
Okay.
These are areas.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Get back to the areas where you said you fought. You said you forgot the towns, Mohobara, and where you fought as a 14 Div.
Yes.
Do you now remember those towns because it's important?
Yes. I remember very well Ohuba.
Okay.
Ohuba was there was armed forces attack at Ohuba, and there the battle was very fierce at Ohuba. And what happened at the war front, we did not pull out, rather the enemy took to their heels because we were very fortified, that area. When you talk of Asa Awara, Ohuba, that was where food was coming. So they wanted to cut off a supply of food. Then we fought back and made sure it was not possible for them. In that particular place called Ohuba, Obiti.
Okay.
And there was a food depot for the Biafran army.
Okay, thank you, sir. The other thing is that you were in the war front, the battlefield for a period of time. All the time you were in the army, save the time you went for training.
Yes.
So after the training, you were all of the time in the war front.
Yes.
Okay, now, when you were in the war front, you were in some people's town and cities. What was the social life of those people, the civilians, in the war front area?
Yes, I will mention especially a place called Arondizog. That Arondizog has common boundary with Okigwe. So we went through the war front from Arondizog, and even when I was wounded from that sector, they took very good care of me, and they were very, very friendly and generous, the people of Arondizog. And I said, I was a young man then. I said, when I grow up, I would like to have a permanent relationship with these people. They are very good people around this job. Though finally I couldn't make it, but then I still remember them as they were very helpful during the war.
Wow.
And they're very fierce fighters.
Okay, now, talking about your bullet wound, when you had this wound, were you taken out of the battlefield?
Yes, I was carried out of the battlefield. And I was taken to a hospital that is at Ndawa, Arundizog. That was where I had I was taken to, and I was operated on. And
the wound is sharp now?
Yeah, the wound is sharp, and I was there for about 2 weeks.
Okay,
before I was transferred to Armed Forces Hospital for further surgery. Okay. Because this time would have been amputated.
Okay. But after you had the bullet wound, did you return to the war front again?
Yes. After that, I was posted. When I was fully recovered, I was posted back to Isu Garrison. At Isu Garrison, I was posted to 14D. And 14D, then I fought at DTF Task Force Brigade. It was an experience I had at 15D, and I had at 14D, because Ohuba was a very difficult place, and Ojukwu led the armed forces attack.
Okay, we've got, that was your Kibo sector.
No, I'm talking about I'm not talking about
Ohuba.
14 Div now.
Also, he was the one commanding in Okigwe, and he kept down to 14 Div again, commanded you.
Who? No, I said, you don't get me wrong.
Okay.
In 14 Div, 14 Div is different from 15 Div.
Okay, yes, I do know that.
S-Div was in charge of Port Harcourt.
Okay.
Okigwe sector is away from there.
Okay.
But I'm talking about 14 Div, which is headed by Ubugukalo, Colonel Ubugukalo.
Okay.
And it was based at Irete. The headquarters is at Irete. Okay. Now the DTF Task Force Brigade is under 14 Div. The headquarters is at Orogwe.
Okay.
Orogwe. Now the Task Force Brigade.
Okay.
You know, Task Force Brigade. Okay. Task Force Brigade is at Umokane.
Okay.
And then the battalion TAC was at Obiti.
Okay.
So it is the Task Force Brigade that yes, I fought in Task Force Brigade covering what do they call it, Ohuba.
Okay.
I was one of the soldiers that fought in Ohuba.
Okay.
Under armed forces when they call armed forces attack, it is the Ojukwu that leads that armed forces attack. That was my experience.
Okay.
I was even exchanging with what do you call it, attack, something attack. That was coordinating. I was coordinating communications within the war front.
You were.
Yes.
The coordinating, were you in the communication?
Yes.
Signals?
Signals, yes. I was also in charge of signals. Okay. For that special attack, that special armed forces attack at Ohuba, I was in charge of the signals.
Okay.
I was OC signals for that attack.
Okay, wow. Now, with all your experiences during the war, now, do you see anything or any behavior that is being paraded presently in Nigerian governance, social behaviors, social relationship that will lead back to something this ugly? When
I was recuperating at 15 Div, I mean at 14 Div now, I was recuperating. That's for my wounds to heal. So they gave me another assignment during the period of my recovery. And I was made the OC refinery.
Okay.
My job was I was in charge of the refinery. What do you call it? The refinery behind Orogwe.
Okay.
And that is that refinery. Ohi refinery. I was in charge. Ohi refinery behind Orogwe. They were breathing.
Sorry, is it a Biafra refinery or what do we have?
Biafra refinery.
Is that right?
Yes, the modular refineries. Yes.
Wow.
That was how we were getting our fuel to empower the army vehicles and some of them. So we are getting it from Oguta.
Is that right?
Yes, the crude oil.
How were you guys drilling? How were you mining the oil?
It was the crude way that is hitting, this crude.
But how do you get the crude? Because you need a big machine.
No, we were getting crude from Uguta.
Is that right?
Yes, we carry crude oil from Uguta and we come to behind the roadway. The heating process, that is why I'm not happy with what they are doing about petrol in these days, because that refinery was empowering SDIV, 14 div. So many vehicles were stranded because there was no fuel. So we started a very crude way of refining the crude oil. You know, those who did what do you call it, petroleum engineering, know that it is a very easy way to heating process. Just the differences in temperature. You produce also kerosene, diesel. In fact, my chief commander, his vehicle, he said he wanted super for his vehicle. The brigade commander said he also needs super. So what the first two drums that come out from the refinery, we know piping under, yes, the thing will be coming out. The first one was given to the chief commander for his car. Then the second one is given to the brigade commander. Now the ordinary, I remember a hospital at Obako. Okay, Obako, very close there. There was a hospital there. Okay. Their vehicles were paralyzed. They couldn't do anything. But when I came into the scene, I used a little bit of my wit to say, we don't have vehicles. They have vehicles, but they have no fuel. I said, we'll do trade by barter. I now empower them with fuel, and then they gave me one of the vehicles. Otherwise, initially we were rolling drums of petrol about 4 to 5 kilometers during it. No means of conveyance. Okay. So when I got one of the vehicles there, gave them fuel, coupon to have fuel, they gave me 2 of the vehicles. I was using those vehicles to supply fuel throughout the division.
Okay, hold on, sir. Something very interesting. We see viewers. We're talking about. I asked one question, but he went into something very important. That is why I allowed him to continue with the answer, because this is very important about the fuel refinery. Yes. How they get out the super petrol, super petrol, and ordinary petrol. Yes, you have kerosene,
diesel.
Now you see a lot of people having refineries in the riverine areas, delta areas. Those are the technologies that got from Biafra. Nigeria could do a lot if we utilize the people who have that experience. Because if I mention Biafra, it might look like we are trying to bring something up. No, the people, we can get a lot from the people who have been involved in that. Now we have a real commanding officer here who was involved directly in refineries. He is able to remember it, which has been something that happened over 50 years ago. So we still have those things in our memories, and we could still do better for Nigeria if the opportunity is thrown out. And now, what I'm asking now, you said you were under 20 during the war and you joined the army. How did you have that initiative to do those administrative decisions to improve the fuel supply, where you say you had to barter for vehicles and then the fuel supply? How did you have that initiative to do those things?
It is even a surprise to me now, but necessity is mother of invention.
I see.
I'm telling you, even under 20, we were doing so many things. I wasn't the person who initiated the production of fuel from crude. Somebody who came earlier did it and went back to war front. I had my wound. That healing process was the period I used. But the only thing I did that was that improved the supply of fuel was that he didn't have the initiative of doing trade by barter with the neighboring hospital. So he was rolling drums. It's a very taxing work. Again, I said, no, I have fuel. I have no vehicles. Okay. The hospital has vehicles, no fuel. We did trade by barter, and they gave me 2 vehicles. And they increased. In fact, I have always been remembered for that initiative.
And you didn't use your military fiat to just go and commandeer the vehicle, but you have to come in a more sociable way. And then you batter, and everybody was happy.
Yes, I was using their vehicle, they were using my phone. Wow. So they were empowered and they started doing a lot of hospital activities.
Fantastic.
That was
really necessity is the mother of invention. Great.
There's one comment I want to make for the interest of all those of us who are still alive. I feel my heart is saddened when I hear that the problem of fuel, this is because of lack of. I say, what is in refinery? Biafra was able to supply itself without importing fuel from Jamaica or from the United States. We use it throughout the war. With this crude method, He's been very helpful. So I don't know why you'd be talking about refinery and so on and so forth. My heart bleeds. As a man at my age now, who is about 76 years old, I'm not talking about what I did before I was there, let me say around 20 years. So it's something that makes me sad. But there's not much, there's no mystery in producing fuel from crude oil. It's one of the simplest technologies.
But why are they not using that now? And we're having problem with
it is a mystery to me.
That's all right.
It's a real mystery.
Great. Before you went back to telling us about the other information, which was equally important, that was why I liked you to exhaust that. You know. So now, like the war, you fought the war, and you will be privy to information of things that led to the war. Now, before I go into ask this question, now let me ask you before I go into this very question. Now let me digress a little bit.
Yeah.
You said the shells during the war was fear. We are fearful. You were scared as a human being, but as a soldier, you had to do what you were doing. What motivated you to continue staying in the war front without going on a war, running away?
This is a very important question. You know, the war didn't just fall from the blue. There were events that led to the war. There is an adage that says self-protection. Self-protection self-protection is paramount in one's life. So if a man comes to your house with a machete, you have to find any available weapon to counter, lest you lose your life. Yeah, so that was actually what happened when we were in school. We know there was a lot of politicking, but we were surprised that this politicking led to now these people coming to our home to slaughter us as if they are slaughtering goats. And self-defense, we have to do everything we could to protect our lives. And that was politicking. Is the natural man is a political animal.
Now, sir, those things that happened before that led to this ugly civil war, do you still see them coming up in this political era, socio-political era and dispensation?
Yes, they are coming up in different styles. The ugly situation is that it is increasing and multiplying. So what led the war has increased and multiplied several times. I'm even surprised that the war did not start repeating itself again. I'm even surprised. Otherwise, the situation now is more tense than what it was before that war came. We have not learned our lessons. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I want Nigerians to think. Look at what's happening in Plateau. The massacre in Plateau, the Christmas Eve massacre, and the continuing killings in Plateau. Do we honestly think the military...
Incidentally, there are some people who are still alive today who were alive then. They have not played the role they should play as elders. Okay. So we're only praying that what is happening now should not lead to another war. There is a lot of marginalization. Okay.
This, if we do not have honest conversation amongst ourselves, this will be a forever war. We know that it's affecting the northwest, the north central, now it's going to the northeast. Banditry is different from IPOB, is different from the northeast, from Boko Haram. We are raising our voices because it is our people, because we know we must tell our people to have an honest conversation. The military...
Social injustice, economic injustice, political injustice. So I really want to advise this generation that if they do not want another civil war, they should have a change of heart. They should really have a change of heart. Otherwise, what happened in the past will be a child's play.
What exactly do you advise? What shall we do? What shall Nigeria do